ওখানে অডিও ভিডিও দুটোই আসছে তো? Okay. My screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in the last lecture we have understood that what should be the nature of vibration and what will be that vibration is represented as displacement. So if the rotor having some unbalanced mass and it is rotating at certain rpm, so what should be the unbalance, means what should be the vibration, and that is represented as in terms of displacement and its amplitude and the phase angle we have obtained, and the differential equation given by represented as x double dot plus c by m x dot plus k by m x, which is equal to f0 by m sin omega t. Okay, this is basically the equation. Now if you, and this c by m is basically, we represented c by m as 2 zeta omega n. Zeta is the damping factor, and and the omega n is the natural undamped frequency, and k by m is equal to omega n square, and omega n square, and omega is the instantaneous the excitation or the rpm at which the rotor is rotating. In Laplace domain, if you convert this entire thing in Laplace domain, if you take the Laplace transformation, so this is s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square into xs. So that is the Laplace transform of xt is equal to that f0 by m and the Laplace transformation of that forcing function. So it should come like this. So you know s is equal to j omega. J is the imaginary part. Now if I try to conceptualize what will happen if that imaginary part is getting multiplied with a vector. So if a is a vector a, and if you multiply with j, so this j a, it will be lying on this axis. Again, if you multiply with j by j, that means j square a, it will be lying on this, and j cube a, it will be lying on this, and it will start to rotate like this. So this is the real axis, this is the imaginary axis. It should be like this. This concept will be needed. So the first thing we will try to plot what is the vector representation of all the forces developed in the rotating system. So we will first make the axis, say this is my real axis and this is my imaginary axis. Now let us consider this is the force, this is the excitation. That means this is F0. We know what is F0. Already we learned that F0 is equal to M0 omega square R. Means that unbalanced mass is M0 and it is situated with an eccentricity E. So based on the previous lecture, already I told you, so this angle is omega t because the entire rotor is rotated with an angular speed of omega radian per second. Now here you see the term k, it is no Laplace operator is multiplied with that. Okay. And in the solution, we are getting x is equal to some amplitude into sine omega t minus phi. Okay. And the force that is basically multiplied with, that force is basically k into x. Now as here you see the forcing function sine omega t, there is no phase. That means the phase is 0 and it is minus phi. So the force developed due to the spring, which is nothing but kx, will be lagged by phi. It's very simple. So this angle will be phi. And this is your kx. But we will be representing that thing as the amplitude. Because this part will be a sinusoidal part. We will taking the only amplitude. So this is k. That means this force will be developed on the rotating system due to the stiffness of the structure. Now you see the damping part, this is multiplied by s, that means j omega. So it will be, as I told, if you multiply a vector with j, then this will be 90-degree shifting. So definitely that damping part will be shifted by 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. So damping part is what? Cx dot. That means C dx by dt means basically V, which is V is equal to, already we know, it is R into omega. So here R is what? Here R is the again that this is represented the displacement x. So again it will be represented by A. So that is this vector amplitude will be C omega A. And we know the resultant of these two should be as per the triangular law of vector summation. So this will be like this. Now the another vector, we will know what is that. So that vector should be in this direction. So basically this, I can tell this is F, only F, and this is F dot. So the summation of F and F dot should be F0. So this is coming from where? If you remember the first term, if you remember the first term of our, while we are making the differential equation, there was a term, inertia term, m minus m0 into x double dot. So this is basically getting excited. This part only will be experienced by the rotor system while it is accelerating due to inertia. So definitely this part will be that part, and from there you are minus m0, that is this part. So this will be again centrifugal force due to total mass. So that is m omega square r. Again here that r is a. So this plot is the entire vector representation of the various forces developed in the rotating system. So this red color line is the force and its direction due to the stiffness of the structure. This gray color line is the force developed due to the damping, and this blue color line is the resultant force obtained from the damping and stiffness of the structure together. This brown color, this, what is that color? This is the chocolate color line is for the excitation, basically, that is experiencing due to the unbalance. And this f dot, this line is basically the inertia term of the entire rotating system. So this is the total vector representation. Now we will try to do one problem. Now everybody note down the problem. I am narrating the problem, and you should do and tell me. Everybody take down the problem and asynchronous squirrel cage induction machine of 12 pole induction machine is rotating at its rated speed, and the total mass of the rotating system is 20 kg. There is an unbalanced mass of 500 gram, which is there with the eccentricity of 4 centimeter. The stiffness of the structure is 5000 Newton per meter, and the dashpot offering the resistance to the vibration is 400 Newton at the velocity 4 meter per second. Find the following. Number 1, the damping factor. Number 2, the amplitude and the phase angle of vibration in terms of displacement. The resonance frequency and the percentage of amplitude increased during the resonance, and 4, the force distribution vector representation. These are the things we have to calculate. Now let us start. So first, K is given this one. Now it is a 12-pole machine. So the RPM of induction machine is given by 120 F by P. P is a number of pole pairs. So the rated frequency is 50 Hertz. So 6000 by 12. How much?
500.
So the RPM of the machine is 500. So we know that it is rotating 500 times in a minute. So omega we will find out, the instantaneous speed, angular speed. So omega is equal to 2 pi, means one rotation it is rotating 2 pi. And in 1 minute it is rotating 500 times. So 1 minute is 60 seconds. So this is the angular speed. How much it is coming?
3140.
31. Hello.
I'm so sorry. 52.33.
50?
52.33.
52.33. That much radian per second. Now what is the damping coefficient? Damping coefficient means this is the force divided by the velocity. So 400 by 100. So that means 400 by 4. So that means 100 Newton second per meter. Now the critical damping, we know that all you studied during your engineering mechanics, that is 2 into root over Km. Now we find out the total mass is 20 kg, K is 5000 Newton per meter. Now what is this cc? Find out. Hello?
632.45.
2.45.
632.
0.45.
That much Newton second per meter. So the damping factor zeta is equal to that C by Cc. How much it is?
Sir, 0.158.
0.158.
158.
So this is the damping factor. So it is, you see, it is under damped. And the natural frequency, we know the formula of natural frequency. What is the formula of natural frequency? Tell me somebody. Omega n is equal to root over K by M. We know K, we know M. What is that value? Tell me.
15.81.
15.81.
15.81 that radian per second. Okay, this is the natural frequency. Means this is the speed at which the resonance will occur for the particular system. Okay, resonance will occur for the particular system. Now so we obtained the, what are the things we obtained? We obtained the damping factor or the damping ratio, and we got the resonance frequency. Then the remaining part we'll try to do. It's very simple. So if you now, first we will try to find out the instantaneous amplitude of vibration. Already we established A, that is M0E divided by M into omega by omega n whole square divided by under root 2 zeta omega by omega n this whole square plus 1 minus omega by omega n whole square, a total term whole square. So this is the amplitude. Now find out and tell me what is this value. We know M0 is 0.5 kg and E is 4 centimeters. So you convert into meter and put all the value, because we know all the value. Tell me what is the value of A. And phi is equal to tan inverse two j omega by omega n divided by 1 minus omega by omega n whole square. This is the value of phi. Now somebody calculate the amplitude and the phase angle.
So phi is coming as 5.994.
Phi, yeah?
Yes, sir.
It is in radian. You convert into degree. এটা কত আসছে? A কত আসছে?
So then I can put it.
Point 0011.
0.00
11.
that much. What?
I'm pretty sure meter है.
Meter.
মিটার। তাহলে এটাকে মিলিমিটারে করো, 1000 দিয়ে মাল্টিপ্লাই হবে, তাই তো?
So 1.1.
1.1.
তার মানে এটা হবে 1.1 mm. So for this system, if you take one accelerometer or the vibration meter and if you plug the probe somewhere on that system which is giving the vertical, because here we worked for single degree of freedom, so your meter will show 1.1 mm vibration reading. Okay, now what is the phi?
So 343.4309 degree.
3
43.
degree, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now at resonance, what will happen in the resonance? The resonance, this omega will become omega n. So this term will vanish. Omega is equal to omega n means that term 1 minus 1 is 0. So this term will vanish. And if this term will vanish, then the root will go. Only this term. M0 by ME, this one by this one. So now at resonance, you tell me what is the amplitude?
Sir, 0.01
Eh?
0.01 meter.
MM bolo.
10.
10 mm, huh?
Yes.
You see, at resonance, how much it is percentage? Now you tell me the increment of the amplitude in percentage.
Sir, 809%.
You see, 800% it's got increased. So in resonance, it will start to reverberate, as all we know. Okay. So now in conclusion, now we will write so first was the damping factor. So what is the damping factor? Tell me somebody.
0.158.
0.158. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Now second was the amplitude, the instantaneous amplitude. How much?
Sir, 1.09 millimeter or 1.1 millimeter.
1.1 millimeter. And the phase angle?
Sir, 343.09 degree.
343. Now the resonance frequency. What is the resonance frequency?
15.81.
15.81.
15.81 radian per second. Then the amplitude at resonance,
10.
it is 10 mm. So the percentage increased is about 800%. Then now the last part is pending, that is the vector. So this is your F0. Now tell me what is F0 value? F0 is M0 omega square E. What is that value?
$54.83.
54.83 Newton. Now this is your Ka. This part is Ka. So we already know the amplitude. You know K. What is this Ka? You tell me.
So 5450.
5.
450.
এই ওগুলো mm এ আছে কিন্তু।
Oh, oh, হ্যাঁ, sorry, sorry.
5.5 sir.
5.45 হবে।
5.25
5.45.
that much Newton. And this part, this is your, what was that? C omega A. What is this?
Five 5.753.
Yes, sir, 5.7.
5.7 Newton. Now this force is the resultant of these two. Sorry. This is the resultant. So which is nothing but square root of this square plus this square. How much it is coming, you tell me? This F.
So 7.89.
7.89 Newton. Now one mistake was there. Mistake means this angle between this is 343 degree. So 343 means this is 90. That will be
Fourth quadrant.
that will be somewhere here. That will be somewhere here. So it should be look should be, এটা হচ্ছে 270 মানে এদিকে এরকম কোন জায়গায় হবে। It should be like this. So that is your F0 is equal to ওই 55 নিউটন আমি ধরে নিলাম। And the angle, this angle is 343 degree. And now the resultant is this one. Resultant, or you can tell the another part is this one, which is m omega square A. What is that value? M is the total mass. I think it was 20 kg.
যদি ভেক্টর এডিশন করি তাহলে ভুল হবে?
হ্যাঁ,
যদি ভেক্টর এডিশন করি তাহলে ভুল হবে
না, তাহলে ওই অ্যাঙ্গেল বের করে করলে একই আসার কথা। যদি এভরিথিং ইজ ঠিক, যদি ঠিক থাকে, ইট শুড কাম সেম।
60.3 resultant.
So basically, this is the vector representation of the entire thing what we did so far. So hope this is very clear. Yesterday we learned the entire thing mathematically, analytically, and today we got on practical problem, and from there we are able to understand it. Now let us see the very basic of COMSOL, because my system is very old. It is Pentium system, so it cannot run COMSOL. So from my lab I have recorded the things and I am showing you. I'll go very slowly. Sorry, this is another thing. So first click on the COMSOL. And you click on the model wizard. We are doing for 3D analysis. And here we will be doing solid mechanics. You add that module. Then go to study. We will be doing the time dependent analysis. And you select that and open the main wizard. So here you can change the unit. I have changed the unit in millimeter. Then we go to the definition. We are going to calculate it at every time step of 0.01 second. And we want to calculate it for a total time duration 10 seconds. So we are defining this as 10 seconds. Then we go to the definition. And here we are going to define the forcing function. So just to give the name, I have given the name as forcing function. So we know what is forcing function, that is F0. Already we have learned it. It is a symbol just I have given as F0. And the expression I am given arbitrarily, it is 10 sine 5t. So that means the omega is 5 radian per second. And the argument of the function is t. You know, t is the independent variable. And the unit of argument will be in seconds. And the function is force, so it will be in Newton. So the upper limit is t, capital T, over. Now we are going to the geometry. You add a block and you define the width. You take, it is 2 meters. The depth is 500. And the height is, say, 200. Now you click on build selected. You see that one strip came. Now you have to add the material. You right click on the material tab. You go to the add material. There is a built-in library, or you can customize your material also if it is not there in the library. So in the I selected simply structural steel and add to the component. And you select the material 1. So you see it is selected. Now we have to give a fix, because we are going to do these things for now. Solid mechanics also you have to select that. Now we have to fix it one because it's a cantilever. So that surface I defined as fixed surface. And now we are going to apply the force. So you go to the boundary load and select the face. Here only the load is getting applied. So you see it is already came. And now it should be total force. And already we have defined the force as F0t. Now if you go to the forcing function And if you plot it, you see there it is coming f0t. So the same thing I can write there. It is case sensitive. Now I am taking a particular probe. So it's a boundary, it's a domain point probe. And I am finding the vibration there. And you can change the coordinate XYZ is there. By changing it, you can shift the point. And at which direction I have taken it as Z direction. Now you go to the solver settings. So if you go to time dependent here, that here already we have defined the time step as dt, and the maximum time is capital T. Now if you go to default solver settings, there is a time dependent solver 1. So here also time stepping should match, otherwise it is difficult to convert. So you see the time step is different, so you apply the same time step dt. Now you go for the meshing. So you make some good mesh. So mesh is ready. Now you give it for computing. It will take time. I am skipping. You see now the solver is finished. We want to see how it will be vibrating with the help of animation. See, it will be vibrating, flapping like this. Now if you want to see what is the excitation or what is the output in terms of displacement. So here you see it is initially that this area having some overshoot and undershoot. That is basically transient effect. And once time is elapsing, slowly it is getting stable. Okay. So this is a very simple example of the vibration. We will learn in details slowly. All the things, means what are the things required for our purpose, particularly this course, we will be learning one by one. Now everybody can take down one example. Means that should be your, not example, this is your assignment for all. So this is a bar. This is take 1.5 meter. The thickness is 200 mm. This thickness is 200 mm. This one is So 600 mm. This surface means this, and another that one, that surface, that side, that is fixed. Now you are giving one sinusoidal force excitation on the middle of the strip. For that, for these things, we want to see how the displacement is taking from here to here. So you equate this distance in equal 5, and you plot from here, first 4, and we'll see how the intensity of the vibration is getting changed. Actually, if you see here, there is a, here you see, let us open that. You see this tab, it is this tab. This, if you click that tab, you can import the entire graph to Excel sheet. This one. This tab is called import. If you click that, you can import entire data to Excel. And in my channel, there will be already people may be knowing how to take that Excel data to MATLAB workspace, and together you plot all the 4 value. This one, this one, this one, and this one. You will be seeing, if you take the envelope of the entire thing, the intensity will be increasing. It will be like this. So we want to see that. So this is your assignment. So today's lecture is all about this. Now, Indrashish, you can stop the recording.